It's Thursday, and you know what that means. It's time for the belated introduction for the very first live weekly event of Season 4. This week we have got the Subcompact Addicts. This, of course, valid up until the end of July the 30th. Put your daily driver through its paces. A daily driver event. Fantastic. This week, get behind the wheel of your favourite city car, not to rush some errands, but to race to the finish line. For a dance emote, the return of Season 4 live events, we're still getting the same kind of rewards. It's an emote, it's okay, we're still excited. Season 4 is finally here. Let's take a look what this week's live weekly event has for us. Well, coming into the new user interface, we can obviously simply get to these ones. We're going to push right on the D-pad, moving all the way over to the temporary activities. We can see there is 2 races here on Ibiza's map. First of all, the Retro Revival. It's 2.3 mile sprint race, clear dawn asphalt, it's all good. 100 to 400 PR in the Citroen 2CV or the Volkswagen Beetle. I'm happy about this one. You guys know I like the 2CV. Not so much a fan of the Beetle, but it's the return of the Citroen 2CV. Good times for Season 4. Second event we've got up here is the Fiat 500 Adventure. A 2.6 mile sprint, 42% asphalt, 58% gravel, in a Barth 500, 400 to 500 PR. Again, slightly disappointed. It looks like we're not going to get to use the Celine 500 just to make things even more challenging. But we're here. We're in Season 4. It's the first live event. Let's cover off these 2 races. Then we'll head on over towards Hong Kong Island. And it would only be right to start off in the very first car for the Solar Pass, the new 911 VR wide body. I have decided to paint it a little bit green here. Nice to see some real players on the map as well. The maps are very populated right now, guys. I'm pretty sure you would have experienced this as well. But it's good to see live players on the map. The maps are thriving. It seems the casino itself is thriving. Last night's stream, we obviously dived into all things new with Season 4. Everything is good times right now in the game. And it's good to see a wide received well perception. I have to apologise, but I can't do an instant challenge right now. I would assume that many of you guys are like myself, and many of you guys on stream have received the new season in good faith. It seems like it's good upgrades that we're getting here. I'm very happy about it all. I don't even know where I'm heading here. Okay, we're heading down there for the first race. Yeah, I'm happy about what we've got so far. The season looks good, the updates look good, the casino looks fresh. I'm happy to see what we've got there. It's good times as far as I'm concerned. The new cars, they're interesting. We obviously covered a lot of them off on stream. I'm going to make some videos on these new cars. The new 911 wide body, it's good. And the interesting thing about this car is it's had a class change from a Grand Tourer on the 89 911. The wide body is now a supercar, which is cool. And it appears this guy's following me over towards the race here. I think he thinks I'm going to Hong Kong Island, but I'm not. I am doing the first race here, which is of course the Retro Revival, the 2CV versus Volkswagen Beetle, 100 to 400 PR, 2.3 mile sprint. Let's get into it. Now unfortunately, I did wait in the lobby. The guy didn't want to join the race with me, so I've just came into a solo race in, no surprise, my 2CV. Excited to be back in this car again. I don't think there's going to be any changes to this car for Season 4. Of course, it was nerfed very early on. This car was broken. For me, it was a joy to drive. I like quirky little cars here, things we don't normally drive often. There's no real desire to drive this car in game. I don't think that is a secret. But coming into these fixed races, when it's required to use the 2CV, for me it creates a lot of fun. The leaderboards are already popping off. Many people topping out the leaderboards for this race, in particular with the 2CV. Chances are I'm not getting to the top of it in this effort right now. Not concentrating enough, and my mind's not on it. My mind is on the casino. I want to win the AMG GT Black Series. Let me know in the comment section down below how much success you've had in the casino so far. Have you hit the 777 jackpots? Have you managed to get the GT Black Series? I'm going to spend a lot of time there in the casinos until I do manage to get that GT Black Series. But we're not here to talk about that right now. We're here to talk about the live event in the 2CV. It feels good to be back. It is very slow nowadays. Unfortunately not as broken as it was before. We've managed to get to the front of the pack. It shouldn't be too hard, you know, it's against the AI. They did put up a little bit of a fight to start off with, but now we've managed to get ourselves to the front of the pack. We should be clearing them off at this point. Yeah, without obviously too much of a challenge. Let me know again, guys, are you using the CV, the 2CV, or are you using the Volkswagen Beetle for this race? I don't even think I own the classic Beetle. No, I don't own the Beetle, I only own this one. It never even popped up in the available cars. So yes, it is of course going to be the 2CV for myself in my Brum liveried 2CV. But yeah, it's good to be back in the car. I'm happy about it. It's not overly exciting, but sometimes that's the beauty of this game. Cars don't have to be overly exciting to enjoy them. Something a little bit different, something quirky, and I think the 2CV certainly falls into that category. I mean, we're struggling even here to break 100 miles per hour. Are we even going to hit 100 miles per hour? There we go, we do get 100. Heavy brake into the left-hander, completely missing the apex. This thing just understeers for days, but it's all good. Little left-hander here, we could probably have a little corner cut. Yes, we can. Through a couple of right-handers. Can we get nice and tight to the barriers? We do. Foot flat to the floor to the end of the race. In a very interesting point in the map, which I'm going to cover off in the next stream. But there we go, race number 1 is in the bag in the 2CV. And we do only have 50 points required for this week's live weekly event. Good times. It's only for an emote, so the expectation was only for 50 points. 5 race wins, guys. You will knock this one out the park very quickly. And with that, we can head over to our second race for today. We're going to complete off both the Ibiza races before we do head on over towards Hong Kong Island and yeah, see what's in store over there. Quick nod again to this I was going to call it an RWB, it's certainly not. The VR widebody 911, it's just so good looking. I don't know if I'm overly happy about the mint colour. We kind of chose this on stream, spur of the moment kind of thing. It's very different, isn't it? But yeah, it's a little nod to the widebody. It looks absolutely fantastic. I did purchase the Valor last night as well. Another interesting car. It's actually a really good car. Played about with the new cars that have had sound changes, apart from the DMC DeLorean, the old DeLorean that would be. But the Apollo sounds unbelievable. The Diablo probably sounds even better in terms of an upgrade. Overall, the Apollo does sound best though. But enough of that rambling, we'll get the second race over and done with. The Fiat 500 Adventure, 42% asphalt, 58% gravel. It's a 2.6 mile sprint, 400 to 500 PR. Now coming into the race, expectations are slightly low. I am expecting not to have much grip. I've got the standard road tyres on. Of course, we don't have an off-road tyre option for this. And it's going to be a little bit difficult to navigate this one across certain points. I've went with the grip tune I've got for this car, bouncing off the limiter in first gear, but we've managed to now get some traction and we should be able to blast away from the rest of the pack. The new camera angle, I don't know if I'm overly sold on it. I don't like how low I am sat behind the car. I think I'm going to have to play with that one, maybe try and raise the camera height. I could see that guy diving up the inside there, so I jumped onto the brakes. As we do come off-road, yeah, that lack of traction is really going to hurt here. Could you only imagine what it would have been like in the Celine edition, the rear-wheel drive 500? It would have been absolute torture, but sometimes, hell, that could be a little bit of fun as we do completely lose the back end on the gravel there. I like this race, this is good so far. I know I'm only a quarter of the way through it, but I like the challenge that we've kind of got here. Totally understeering into the turn just there. Not ideal, back off road again. Struggling to get any form of traction down. This should be fun when we've got a whole group of us doing this on Monday stream coming actually. This should be a good laugh, trying to see who can actually get any traction, possibly even set a good time on this one. These are the kind of races I like, something that's a bit different, something that's a bit quirky as we crash into the post on the right hand side just there. It is a very challenging race. I don't think any tyres are going to be better for this other than the standard tyres. For the minimal grip we're going to have, I certainly don't want slick tyres, and I don't think the semis are actually going to benefit us at all. I hope I've not overlooked some off-road or all-road tyres for this, but I don't see why there would be that option for a daily driver. But as we can see, the AI aren't going to be challenging here for the most part. We should be clearing them off, especially in the off-road sections. Down the asphalt just here, I assume we're going back off-road again. We are. Wanted to be nice and careful coming off-road here. I mean, this is a good race. I know it's not the practical race we want, but I like that. It's very different, and you know, it's fun. I think that's probably the best way to put it. It's a fun little race, a different way of using the Abarth 500. And there's just no way you're getting traction where you want traction to be. Maybe we need to be in the higher gears here. Maybe that's the way forward. But the lack of, just the lack of front end this has now got, it's so challenging. I like it. This is good. This is good. Are you guys enjoying this kind of thing, or do you just want to see the more serious races? An asphalt car for asphalt, a road car for road, an off-road car for off-road, that kind of thing. You can obviously weigh in on that one. Give me your thoughts on all of that. But now we come back to the tarmac. Hopefully we can make some ground here. Yeah, it looks like tarmac all the way to the finish line. That's all good. It's a fun little race. I quite enjoyed that one. An easy win for race number 2 and our second set of 10 points. And with that race win out of the way, we can now come over to Hong Kong Island and take a look at the last 3 races we've got over here. First of all, we have got the Fun Run, a 1.1 mile 2-lap circuit race, clear daytime, and it's a stock, the first stock race, gladly, in the Citroen 2CV. The introduction, of course, of stock racing in TDU. Massive introduction. I love it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, especially in little quirky cars like the 2CV. It's going to be painfully slow, you know, kind of highlighting the skill difference. I think that's a good thing going forward. The second race down here is Local Legend, a 1.7 mile 3-lap circuit race, clear nighttime on asphalt. A Barth 500 versus the John Cooper Works Mini. Max PR of 500 again. Oh, there's a third car here. It is, of course, the Alfa Romeo Mito. So we have got a PR restriction that time, upwards of 500. And the third race up at Poc Fu Lam here is the Italian Job. A 3.2 mile domination foggy dusk on asphalt in the Mini Cooper John Cooper Works GP. And again, another stock race, and that's going to be the first one I'm going to kick things off with today. We're going to head on over there now. So a big addition for... Oh, totally lost the totally lost the Porsche there. A big addition for Season 4, of course, is now the introduction of stock car racing. It may not be to everybody's taste, everybody's pleasure, but I personally think it's huge. I think it's good for the game, it's good for racing, it's good for showcasing skill levels, essentially. And I like it, especially when... Oh, are we going to land this one? We do. Especially when we do then see the introduction of the racing centre. I like the stock car racing, it's a good touch. So we'll kick things off here with the Italian Job, a 3.2 mile domination in the John Cooper Works in a stock format. And what was quite interesting coming into this was the stock format does not even allow you to change the tune, even though this car would of course have a sport mode, you cannot even enable that. So it is literally going to be a skill issue when it comes to racing these cars in their stock format. No change of parts, no change of tyres, no change of tune, no tailoring the car to how you like the cars to handle. It's all going to come down to just how well you can place your car on the track, how well you can smash into the AI, push your way to the front of the pack. I like this. This is a good touch. This is something I really am happy to see in the game. A new addition of sparks there as we were rubbing sides with the John Cooper Works of Marcus there. I don't remember seeing that many sparks in the game before, and it's also actually going to be really interesting to see if Slipstream does actually work in this game. We obviously know we do get dirty air, we do get disturbed with the dirty air, but it's going to be good to see if Slipstream does actually work in this game. And I've just realised this is a domination race. I really need to get myself to the front of the pack here and try and get some of these top points on the board. Totally smashing my way to the front there for the purpose of today's video. Of course, I don't like to race dirty, keeping it off the railings. Yeah, I really need to start getting those top points on the board there to make sure I do win today's live weekly event race. Hopefully at the first time of asking in the stock John Cooper Works. Totally locking up the brakes there. Man, the car feels totally different not having my tune on it, and this is totally going to change how a lot of these cars actually act in the game, how we're used to them. I mean, when it comes down to racing, the Lamborghini Huracan, for instance, I've done so many miles in that car, but it's all been on a tailored tune, whereas the Jaguar SVR, if we get to get the stock races in that car, well, I've actually used that for the most part in the stock format. The car's perfect out of the box, and I've not had to build a tune for it. So it's really going to separate us then. Many people, myself, many people at the top of leaderboards, Paku, Asai Yunon, Destroyer, that one, whoever else, Jetstream, Jason, not to leave anybody off there. Yeah, a lot of people are using custom tunes we've spent hours building to get the cars perfected to our driving style. Well, that now all goes out the window with the introduction of stock car racing, and I think it is a huge change going forward, not to be understated. I think it is going to be a massive improvement to how we do approach some of the racing events. Then of course pushing on forward towards some of the future seasons, the introduction of the race centre, well again, it's then going to you know, put a different dynamic towards racing. It is purely going to be a skill issue. How well you can outbrake your opponent, use the slipstream, give them dirty air, clip apexes, miss lampposts. I think it's good. I'm looking forward to it. Again guys, please be as engaging and interactive in today's comment section as possible. Give your thoughts on the introduction of stock car racing. Are you looking forward to it? Is it as big as you think, as I think it is overall? And one thing I actually could have then used in today's video, another new feature that's been introduced for Season 4 is group ping. We can actually set pings across the map now for more than one destination, essentially touring between each live weekly event. We can come on with one another, set the group up. We can say we're going to do this race, then that race. We can all have that ping together, join the races together. All of these things are good in my opinion. There's so many good additions that have been made here that are low-key understated, but they're massive improvements for gameplay, how we approach the gameplay with one another, how we approach it with solo mode. And they're all good things. Stock car racing, group ping, UI interface changes, all of these things in my opinion are good overall. So we'll head on over to the fourth race today. It's going to be that stock car race. Yes, it is the next stock car race here in the Citroen 2CV. 2 laps. This one could get tough. And why could it get tough? Well, we have all of 17 horsepower on show per vehicle right here. Yeah, it's going to be a tough, slow race. It's all about not using the brakes, in my opinion. We don't want to be using those brakes. We want to be carrying as much speed and momentum as possible, not bouncing off the rev limiter like I just did over first and second gear. Try and clip every apex. Can we see if we do get any form of slipstream? Does it even exist for a Citroen 2CV? Can we even do anything with slipstream? We've just got to fight our way through the pack here. The slowest probable race we're ever going to see it in test drive. But we have managed to nose our way up to third place here. We can keep Alex on the outside at 20 to 30 miles per hour. Hopefully get some form of a slipstream off of Ennis here. We're up to 40 miles an hour guys, breakneck speeds right here. But I love this. This is so good. This is fantastic. We managed to dive up the inside of Ennis and stretch up a lead in first place. And yes, it is stretching a lead because any mistake we make with just 17 horsepower is going to be felt so badly. It's going to be so hard to make up that time. Already stretched away from the rest of the pack. 4.5 seconds. Might not sound a lot, but when you've got realistically 50, maybe 55 miles an hour as a top speed on this circuit race, you need to fully commit, not lifting, not coming off the throttle, not using the brakes, using as much road as physically possible to get that race win. I like it guys, I genuinely think this is a huge addition to the game. Trying to stretch the corner out as much as possible, as straight as I can to get as much speed out of the 2CV. It's tough, it's challenging, and these are the polar opposite challenges as to what we're used to with cars that are essentially too powerful, too fast. It's such a good change, I love this. This is a great feature. Even in the 2CV, I think, you know, a lot of people may feel the same, a lot of people may not. I personally think this is a great addition to TDU. And we will now then head on over to our fifth and final race, all the way down at the bottom of the map on the right hand side. Genuinely just forgot what this area is called, but it's the last race for the very first live weekly event of Season 4. A great bunch of races, I'm sure you guys will all agree. If not, let me know why in the comments section, but I personally think these have been some fantastic races, completely different from what we are used to in the game, and of course the introduction of the stock car racing. But we'll round it off today with the local legend race, a 3-lap circuit race in the Abarth 500, the John Cooper Works, and the Alfa Romeo Mito with a max PR of 500. And I'm going to use the Alfa Romeo Mito this time. I've not used it in today's video, I've not used it since I bought it for the Alfa Romeo live weekly event just a few weeks ago. No tune built for this one, standard tyres, auto PR to 489. Let's see what we can do. Bouncing off the limiter, as this thing always seems to sit on the limiter whenever I see anybody else driving it. Such a noisy car, it is a very broken daily driver for the most part. But we'll see what kind of time we can deliver. I think I've got the sport tune actually applied to this one. Standard road tyres, thankfully, with all the water that we can see sitting on the road surface just there, taking out the mandatory statutory lamp post for the race just there. It wouldn't be a race for myself if I didn't at least wipe out one lamp post. There's actually a surprising amount of grip coming out underneath this Alfa Romeo. Considering how much water is here, on a very tight little town circuit. As I say that, I understeer into a house. But yeah, there's a surprising amount of traction coming from the front end of this. It's not bad, it's not bad. It would have been different actually, it would have been interesting for this race to be a stock car race in the Mito and the Abarth 500 and the John Cooper Works. I would imagine the John Cooper Works on paper would be the fastest car. Yes, it should be, it's over 200 brake horsepower. Would have been challenging, but yeah, it is what it is. We've got a max PR of 500, we're in the Alfa Romeo Mito, hard for me to say quickly, and well, it's a very easy race overall. AI are not a challenge, but of course, as I mentioned a few times guys, we're going to come back on Monday as we always do, race with the community, take on all of these races that we've just done there. I'm looking forward to especially that Citroen 2 CV race in its stock format. I think it's going to annoy a lot of people, they're going to get frustrated, but I think it's going to be a good spectacle on Monday's stream. Welcome to join me guys, you're welcome to join in. As always, it will be a first come first served after the members of the YouTube channel are given the first opportunity for the races. And of course, with that fifth and final win, we do get our 50th set of points for winning that race. We do complete this week's live weekly event. We do get that emote, which is dancing at the wheel. We get some more reputation. We know we've got stuff to grind for now. We do complete more of the solar pass. I've done no work towards it, so this is all came from the races essentially that we've just done there. We now get the winter race sticker. It's a sticker, we had to get one. It's a live weekly event. But with all of that said, done and out of the way guys, let me know in the comment section down below what you thought of the very first live weekly event on on season 4, sorry, between Hong Kong Island and Ibiza. For me, it was good. It was an introduction to the new races, which is of course the stock car racing. Give me your honest thoughts and opinions down below. Once again, feel free to join Monday's stream, first come first served, after the members of the YouTube channel are offered the first slots for the live weekly racing. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. As always guys, stay tuned for more updates on Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown.